And we're live.
Google
And
just
I
told me
hear
so.
audio on the stream.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Redacted Files pod. No, wait, that's not right. Damn it.
Control Z. Control Z.
That's right, we'll fix it in post.
Is that thing on? Hello and welcome to Gold Wings Black Skies. We're playing Tachyon Squadron. We have a reduced flight. We're down to 25%, which means casualties will be going up, I assume. Around the table we have Megan.
Hey everyone, this is Megan. I'm playing Captain Commander. I can never remember what rank I gave myself. Self-important Micah Drexler. Commander.
You are a commander.
And if I can get my character sheet to open, I can tell you what my new high aspect is.
Ooh.
It's the same as it was last time, but I just don't remember what it was now.
All right. That's one of those things you want to keep an eye on. Oh, wait. That was...
How dare you?
Mike!
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and I'm playing Barry Catfish Nemuzuko. Element Wingman Ace is the military rank I've been given, and I still have no idea what the fuck that means.
No, you're an element wingman, and you're an ace.
But am I fire element or earth element or
Hard.
in some versions metal, wood?
I'm going with heart.
I will explain it momentarily. Rob!
Hi, I'm Rob. I'm playing Lucette the Zombie Forester. For now, a hard-drinking ex-mercenary.
All right. So, in the organization of a fighter squadron, you have the entire squadron, which is anywhere from 12 to 20 ships. These are usually broken up into flights of 4. In air-breathing dogfights, these flights usually adopt what's called the Finger 4 formation. So that's a leader up front, one plane off to their left, one off to their right, and the fourth off to the far right and behind. Idea is that the leader is in charge of where everyone is going. The two off to the one side are keeping an eye on the two up front, and the wingman for the leader is making sure nobody drops in right behind him.
Or her.
Or her. Or them.
Them.
In practice, the flight will break up into pairs, which are called elements. The element consists of the lead and the wingman. And when they operate in this configuration, they can change places. The leader can become the wingman can become the leader, depending on how the maneuvers play out. But the idea is that the leader is in charge of prosecuting the attack or setting up attacks for the wingman. But the wingman's primary responsibility is to make sure that nobody gets behind them. In combat, what you can do is, if the two ships or planes maintain sufficient distance between each other, they can maneuver so that you can't get behind one of them without risking the other one getting on your tail. And so that's why air combat tries to keep everyone on the buddy system.
Okay, so it's not really people flying one slightly further ahead of the other, like in, say, a flight of Canadian geese, which is my frame of reference, or the fighter jet demonstration squadrons where they're again in a flying V and colored smoke pluming out the back. It's more side by each, and if someone tries to get in behind, the other person notices and goes, "Not today, fucko," and loops back.
Excuse me, that is Canada geese.
Yeah, so the idea is that you usually do trail off to one side because somebody is leading in the pair. But the idea is, yes, that you make sure that nobody gets on your leader's tail, and you are also able to take over if they can't line up a shot.
If their wings get tired and you need to spell them off for a bit.
Yeah, or it's
like Canadian geese.
Yeah, or like those weird groups that like sprint in bicycle racing. I just that's always so weird to me. But the smallest unit is an element. It's a pair of fighters. Then you have two elements make a flight. 3 to 5 flights make a squadron, and then some number of squadrons will make a group, and then groups make up a wing, and wings will make up an air force.
The more you know.
Oh, yep. So now you know a little bit about military bureaucracy.
The problem is I will not retain any of that, and you'll have to explain it to me again and again.
All right.
That's one of the reasons why I kept on thinking of it in the terms of geese flying, because it's like, oh yeah, they fly in groups, and one's a bit further ahead because of aerodynamics, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
And for when the goose in the back has to launch projectiles, that's something else.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And you really have to watch out with that, with the Canadian geese, because those hissers are motherfuckers.
And the projectiles are terrible.
Yep.
The other thing, too...
they're all bombers. Lime green bombers.
The other thing, too, is that if you do form up like that, you can establish an interval so that when you see your flight leader drop their bombs, when you hit your bomb release, by the time you have gone through that reactive cycle, you will actually be where he or she or they were when they dropped their bombs. This is what used to count as precision bombing, say about 70 years ago. It was all just like timing and inertia. But, when the target was like a few city blocks wide, it was good enough. And they still screwed it up most of the time.
Yeah.
And there was one other point about this, but I am sure people want to hear you guys start making very bad rolls, so we'll move on.
Okay, so the important thing to remember is that when we're in the pairs of fighter jets or a fighter craft of some sort, we're elemental helium, and then when the elements get together for the group of 4 of them, we're beryllium, and that's when things get really dicey. Good to know.
Also, incidentally, Mahau is your element leader, and he's not here, so you'll probably die.
And most importantly, all of this will be super crucial as we're currently not in our fighter craft.
Oh yeah, you have to maintain these combat tactics in all situations, including bar brawls, run and gun, street fights, and chess tournaments.
Well, this is problematic for me because where Lucette was when we left her, she does not have her fearless leader there to follow.
No, you are following someone else.
You're following your conscience and personal
Libido?
libido.
All right, so when last we left our intrepid flyers, they had scored a dazzling victory over some Dominion chumps. The result of which was that you managed to get your freighters to a space station, which was supposed to have been relatively safe ground. Unfortunately, it looks like the people who don't like Barry's sister, who happens to be in charge of this little smuggling convoy you're escorting, know where she is and have directed a considerable amount of effort to doing her and her ships. And since you are affiliated with them now, you have lined yourselves up in their crosshairs as well.
Mm-hmm. And one of my notes was that Mahao was fighting a ninja that suddenly appeared. And if I remember right, he won.
He did win.
But since he's not here now, is it safe to assume that he's either interrogating said ninja or fighting more ninjas?
He is currently interrogating that ninja. The interrogation consists of him just standing in front of the ninja staring at him.
Because I believe when last we saw Mahao,
he was dragging him down the stairs.
Yeah.
By the foot. Yeah.
By the foot, not supporting the head at all.
Yes, you saw that out the window of the room you were in, questioning the Dominion pilot. It somewhat unnerved him and loosened his tongue a bit. Unfortunately, then it turns out that your hosts were the people that you should be the most concerned about. So, why don't we start by rolling athletics, Barry and Micah?
I was hoping you were going to skip me. Athletics. Is this range defense?
No.
All right.
It really is remarkable that all four pilots are engaged in tense interrogations.
I got a 2.
Now, so this is athletics for dodging fight stuff, or is it fight stuff?
This is for initiative.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, in that case, danger sense? Question mark?
Yes.
Excellent. So that is a 5 for Barry. A superb.
All right, Barry gets to go first. So in front of you is a very terrifying looking woman who looks like she has been through her fair share of close quarters combat, the kind that involves bayoneted rifles. And she has several security people filing into the corridor behind her. There is one. You're now thinking very insufficient security door between you and them, with a porthole in it that's letting you see your doom coming.
Okay, I'm going to roll a notice, I guess, to see if there's any sort of way that I'd be able to beef up the security of the sealed hatch in between us, or fuse it shut, or the like.
All right.
Because they're still not here yet, so Barry can't use his smarmy, space bastardy mouth to try to get us out of the trouble. Which means he's just going to try to be a space bastard in the other way and try to just extra lock the door. So notice. Well, that's the first fate point that I'm going to be spending tonight, I think. Because yeah, I'm not going to tell Acer what that die result was because he doesn't need to know that it was all minuses. Oh shit.
Darn.
Okay, that's much better. That is a +5 for notice.
All right. You do spot a security console off to one side. It looks like these rooms were intended for very confidential communications, which do include things like electrifying the doors. Give me a technology roll.
Okay, I actually have upped my technology a bit because it's fair now. Are you fucking me, dice? I'm gonna spend another fate point because a 0 isn't gonna help us not die. Woo, off to a good start. What fate point would this be? Bait and switch?
Sure thing.
There's the obvious wire that Barry knows that we should go for, but then there's the not so obvious wire that might help more. That's gonna have to be good enough. That's a 2.
All right. So you push some very obvious buttons and some less obvious buttons. You hear several. You hear several clicks as different locks and tumblers engage. Unfortunately, you do not get the more exotic anti-intrusion systems to turn on. Probably because Ronnie has coded those special.
If I have any sort of time left, I'm going to come over to Ronnie and go, Ronnie, get your pants back on. We've got a situation.
Well, so Rob,
Yes.
did the pants come off?
I mean, Lucette has very poor impulse control, almost certainly.
All right, roll perception. Or not a perception. Roll notice. Sorry.
Okay, this is a thing she's definitely great at.
I'm sorry, Rob.
You'll be extra sorry. That is a 0.
All right. So, this round, you will not be getting help.
Fair. It's fair.
The goons outside are going to try to break open the door.
I know it was 4 dice, but that still sounded like a lot more than 4.
And luckily for you, they are not able to break through the door.
Yes.
It seems they heard that somebody might have elected the door, and they've met Ronnie. Micah, what would you like to do?
I would like to assist in stopping these people. I have
All right, you can-
my cane sword, laser sword cane.
Uh-huh.
So I suppose I will use that.
You're going to open the door and fight them?
No, I guess that's not a good idea. I'm gonna create an advantage using my rapport with my squadron.
Okay.
Wow, I rolled nothing on the dice at all. All were blank. So that gives me just a +4.
Okay, so you get an additional invoke. So that means, I believe, you usually bonus 1 anyway, right?
Yes.
So-
Oh wait, sorry. I thought that my good hunting thing was only when we were in space combat, but it doesn't say that. So I get a +6.
All right. So there are 3 free invokes of your. What will it be this time?
Fighting words.
Fighting words. All
Yeah.
right. Barry, it's your turn again.
Them are fighting words. Okay, Barry's gonna try to calm. Okay, he's tried calming Ronnie, so now he's gonna try calming Lucette and Mahau. And he's not expecting to get any reception from Mahau because reasons. But so rapport, I guess, for
Nope. This is going to be technology.
oh good.
Yeah, the 2 people that you're trying to calm have their phones set on Do Not Disturb.
Well, for the first time tonight, I got a decent roll without having to spend a fate point. So that's a +4, a great technology result.
All right. So that means that Lucette, your phone starts to actually ring, and you could have sworn you put it on Do Not Disturb.
Ronnie's would probably start ringing also.
Ronnie is going to pick up her phone and smash it against the wall.
Fair.
Lucette is not classy. She's just going to like roll over and disgruntledly put her phone on speaker. What?
Sorry to be. I'm not going to say what I was going to say because that's extremely rude. Especially, am I a speakerphone?
You hear a loud banging sound, Lucette, as though someone was smashing a battering ram against a locked door.
Yeah, we got a situation over here in the station security trying to kill us kind of way.
What did you do?
Exist.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like a thing that happens to you.
Some people have animal magnetism for the sex stuff like you. I have animal magnetism for people wanting to kill me.
Bang.
You should think about like having that looked at or something.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking an expert doctor about it. Dr. Lucette, ma'am. Help.
Zombie, is he dead yet?
I mean, like...
This, you're all hurt. Now stop going to the club and spade these motherfuckers or something. I'm running out of playing card analogies. Help! I'm willing to roll rapport for sibling rivalry or something of the like.
No, she's not going to let you die.
Yeah, I should probably go handle this.
Hang on. She will open her closet and toss you an assault rifle.
Lucette is now armed with an assault rifle and like a bed sheet.
Toga.
Yeah, it's,
you're probably going to be able to help him more if you put on more.
I mean, that's debatable. She will, however, put the assault rifle down and like take the minute to get dressed.
All right.
Yeah, this isn't a Conan adventure. Chainmail or bedsheet bikinis don't actually give extra armor class.
All right. That's a better roll for the security forces. You see, they've given up on the battering ram, and someone rushes forward and makes the characteristic motion of a breaching charge on the door. Give me athletics rolls.
Is this ranged attack?
In a manner of speaking, sure.
All right, I can use my discipline instead. Wow, I rolled 0, 0, 0, 0 again. So 3.
I got a +1 on the dice, so also 3.
All right.
Well, it's been fun playing Barry, guys.
Luckily for you, they rolled even worse than you did. So the door is blasted off its hinges and just falls down in front of the gap. But it does mean that that very angry lady who seems like she has some sort of grudge against the two of you is in the room momentarily.
Against me?
Yes.
That seems unlikely.
And it's your turn, Micah.
I will hit her with my laser sword.
All right.
All right. This is fight.
Yes.
All right.
So it's going to roll. Wow. She rolled a 3.
I rolled a 1. I'm not sure it's worth. Oh wait, I get a +1 to fight from my laser sword cane. So I will spend a feat point tagging my aspect. Proven leader with too much to lose.
All right. So she brings up her carbine to parry. It's coated in reflective material and does reduce some of the energy release from your sword cane, but it does still do considerable damage to her forearm as she raises the weapon to try to fend you off. Barry, it's your turn. The goons are basically just going to be free invokes of goon as an aspect.
Okay. Oh, I just remembered. Megan, did you spend a fate point, or did you use one of your invokes for fighting words?
I spent a fate point, so there's still 3 invokes on that.
Okay. So I'm going to probably use them's fun words and play knifey spoony with these guys also. Because while Barry still has his monofilament shank or shiv or whatever in a back pocket kind of thing, he also has the sweet ass katana that dropped off of one of the guys that he killed. So he's gonna try to use that to strike these people about the head and face. Specifically the person that is fighting Micah, because fuck her. And that is a fantastic +6.
All right. So
And it's weapon 1.
Barry, the street samurai.
They rolled. Wow, that one bounced. Just a 2. So weapon +1 means that they are in seriously bad shape.
Yeah, because that's 5 stress coming at them.
Yes. So they take the consequence impaled.
Nice.
I think my computer might be haunted because depending on where I put my head, the light in the room looks like it starts flickering.
Oh, because of the camera auto light adjust dealio. Hmm.
All right. So with that in mind, she is going to use her free invokes and try to stab you, Barry,
Okay.
with her bayonet.
Does she get multiple free invokes?
Yes.
Ruh-roh.
Uh,
Well, Barry hasn't almost died for a while. This is gonna be fun. Ooh. Oh. I said ooh while the other two dice were still spinning. Ooh.
total 5.
I am going to spend one of the fighting words invokes and also get a 5.
All right. So, she has you backpedaling as a boost.
Okay. The boost name is Nging, 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 nging.
Micah,
Yes.
your turn.
I'd like to hit her again.
Okay. We'll use her last invokes.
Ooh. I got a 6.
All right. You end her.
I guess now we'll never know why she was mad at us. Probably wasn't anything.
I mean, we could ask the goons that are still here.
Nah.
Barry turns to the swarm of goons.
It turns out that Micah was quite thorough in her attack out of nowhere. People were not expecting her to just turn into a whirlwind of collimated light.
Ableists.
The reinforcements that the security team were expecting suddenly find better things to do when they are confronted by a very determined pair of ladies with heavy automatic weapons. Why don't you give me a shoot roll?
I can do that. I assume that was me.
Yes.
Let's see. Where's my? Oh, all right. I found it. That is a -1.
All right. Well, luckily for you, they rolled a -2.
Moral victory!
So, it's one of those situations where it's a confined space and you're firing in full auto.
Yeah, she's in a really foul mood for some reason. She's just really frustrated and is taking it out on these guys.
If she can't get fucked, these guys can.
So, the corridor is filled with the deafening roar of an automatic rifle spewing flechettes in just an unending stream. And then it stops. Barry, you assume that because none of that was directed at you, that it involves your sister in some way.
Yeah. Sorry, checks out. Yeah.
I think we got him.
I'm gonna start rummaging through the pockets and stuff of the security leader that Micah just completely obliterated.
Roll her back and forth, see if change falls out of her pockets.
Yep.
You find her ID card. She was her name was Lainey Hilliard. She was actually the station chief.
Does she have any sort of like phone or comm or data slate or anything like that? That
Yes.
would-
She has a phone.
Okay, I'm going to try to unlock it using her biometrics.
All right. So she
Because
still has.
I'm assuming it's not one of the ones where you actually need to have a living thumb pressed on it or anything like that.
Unfortunately for you, it is a. It's a or it's a triple factor authentication.
So like thumbprint, iris scan, and like venous scan to make sure that you actually have actual blood pumping through your hands.
It's actually it's biometrics, which is all three of those things, and then it has a passcode, and it also has a key card,
And then they email you.
and then they email you, and you have to answer security questions
That you never remember.
because you were a smartass and decided a funny answer would be the best answer.
Here's the thing, if you use the same made up funny answer for all of them, then it'll actually work out, even if you didn't actually have a pet named by that name. I was going to say it out loud what the thing that I use is, but that would be very bad OPSEC. So I'm going to say napkin. Your first pet's name is Napkin.
One of my coworkers picked funny answers for the questions, but he didn't remember which funny answer he matched with each question. So it didn't work very well for him.
See, what you do is make your pet's name always the same, but not an actual pet's name, like Napkin. Your hometown was Vegas, and the name of your elementary school was Elvis's School of Hard Knocks. Or something.
The Heartbreak Hotel, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
As long as you are consistent with those, it's fine. This has been OPSEC with Barry. This is why Barry's technology is only 2.
So, it looks like you've given me a fabulous present.
Uh-oh.
Ronnie says, looking down at the corpse. Well, corpses. I've always wanted a space station.
Happy birthday! I have no idea why they out of the blue attacked us, but I'm just going to assume that it's because we're associating with you now.
I'm guessing it probably has a lot to do with that also. If he's any indication, she points toward the Dominion pilot that did nothing to help you. You're probably making some enemies of your own.
That seems
Oh yeah,
unlikely.
we forgot all about Steve because he's handcuffed and zip tied to the chair. Hi, Steve. Your name's Steve now.
Hello, Mr. Simpson.
I think he's talking to you. There's our Simpsons joke for the evening.
Yep.
The tax, Megan's tithes go up if we make more.
No, that's good.
I messed the joke up, though. I don't know if it counts.
We understood what it was.
Yep. And Acer whispered it quiet enough that I almost missed it, which is the best part.
I have no clue what's going on, so.
It was one of the best Simpsons episodes ever.
Uh-huh.
They go into witness protection from Sideshow Bob. Sideshow Bob continues to find them, and then also gets rakes to the face. Because reasons.
Because reasons. Okay.
Yeah, Barry, I can't imagine how you managed to make enemies here. Like, it's like your sense of timing and the things you do for fun. It really just really endears you to people.
Look. I said I was sorry. I wasn't expecting Micah to go all Zatoichi on everyone.
I shrug. I've been practicing.
So was I, and I thought that I was doing well.
But I mean, like 5 minutes, like really.
There was 12 of them.
I think he's just a little
And
bit
a battering
sensitive about
ram.
his sister.
No, Ronnie can do whatever she wants, and Lucette can do whomever she wants.
Roll empathy, everyone.
Oh no, Steve is going to be put out by this, isn't he?
That sounds about right.
Say
3.
Negative
Barry
2.
actually has an empathy. Wow, that's a 1.
Negative
right.
2.
Micah, Ronnie is now very into you.
Oh no.
Also, Steve is terrified of you, since his name is now Steve.
I don't care as much about Steve.
Well, he cares very much about Steve, so he is going to say, "Look, I want to help. I want to, I want to make things right."
And how are you going to do that?
I can tell you where, my commander, he's got a little side gig going. He's see there we've got a couple flights of gators that they're written off as scrap.
And
they're still perfectly flyable. They're going on. He's got lined up a buyer, and he's got a ship lined up to haul them away. The easiest thing in the world for you to just grab them, make up for some of the damage we did.
that could be good.
And then you let me go, right?
I guess
Oh,
it depends on if we come back.
Oh, that reminds me, Ronnie says. I passed a very interesting conversation on my way here. It seems like your friend, Mahau, is going to be busy for a while. Maybe he can stick around here just in case you don't come back, and Steve here will regret any omissions he makes.
Mahau is pretty loyal to his friends.
Steve is thinking about the scene he witnessed through the window a little while ago of Mahau just dragging a guy by the leg down a flight of stairs. And he says, I have security codes.
We are Steve's personal horror movie right now.
I have security codes. You won't even have to. You just have to come up. You just have to transmit the codes and go aboard. Everything will be fine.
How old are these codes?
They're good for another week or so.
Well, hopefully they still check out.
And they're not like one-time codes or any of that jazz.
No, I've got the whole cipher.
But ciphers are one-time use. Barry says, slapping Steve across the face. He does not do that. Cipher system jokes.
Mike loses a fate point.
No, those are the best jokes. I give you a XP.
What's the exchange rate for XP to fate points?
It depends where you're trading them in. All right. So
I'll put, instead of putting an X in the checkbox for the fate points that I have, I'll put a line to show that I have half a fate point now.
all right. Everyone can give me a technology roll.
Technology.
I keep on thinking I need to upgrade this more because, oh, well, maybe not. I got a +4.
I haven't rolled a single negative on these dice tonight.
Nice.
I got a 3.
I got a 0.
All right.
I think I've only rolled like 2 positives the entire night.
There we go. I'm stealing Rob's positives.
Oh, this has been my week for dice rolling. All week.
This has been my month for dice rolling. Oh boy.
So, Micah, you are able to figure out how to integrate the cipher key he gives you, which is basically just a disk that, unfortunately, thanks to the design that the Dominion uses, is not compatible with a lot of your equipment. But you have a lot of Dominion equipment lying around.
Like a certain stealth ship.
Like a certain stealth ship. Unfortunately, you do not have access to the stealth ship right now, as it is back at your improvised base, along with your transport. But what you are able to get is a slightly used and recently cleaned Dominion attack ship. Excuse me, Dominion attack transport.
Ooh.
Ronnie says the former owners won't be needing it anytime soon.
Sweet.
Like anytime soon, as in this lifetime, or
As in the heat death of the universe.
I mean, that should be enough time.
All right. She says she will keep things, she will keep a lid on things here for the time being. And you can go nab yourselves some very shiny new spaceships. Actually, new old stock.
Pursuant to that Garbo tech roll, I think as Barry was playing with the Kajigger there, Lucette managed to, whilst playing with her assault rifle, jam it. Now she's fighting with a severely jammed gun.
Oh no.
Several people rush over to try to take the gun away from you.
I mean, yeah, it's
like classic lock and load pose, but it's the battery eject lever.
Yeah, I mean, it's a loner anyway. That's fine.
All right. So, Barry, give me a rapport roll to try to get as much information out of Steve as possible. It's not that he's trying to be uncooperative. He's just terrified.
Yeah, I will occasionally slip in, like, okay, Kerensky, or Kerensky, or just blur the line between his old name and his new name just to discombobulate him even more. That was rapport. I
Okay,
had another one of those fun, 2 pluses, and then 2 minuses moments, so that's +4.
Can Lucette good cop to his bad cop, maybe?
Well, yeah, he was the good cop. You would be the bad cop.
I mean, I could do that too.
And I do have lie detector, +2 to empathy to discern dishonesty. Empathy, path.
I mean, Lucette will just sort of slap him just because she's still taking out frustration. And this guy's, yeah, he seems a viable target for taking one's aggressions out on.
Okay.
Do you want some kind of roll for that, or
Yeah. Provoke.
let's see how garbo I roll now. That is a 2. I will spend a fate point to bump that up to 4.
All right. So, good cop and bad cop have done their jobs, and he gives up everything he knows about this transport. It is a Dominion supply ship, about 300 meters long. It's carrying tens of thousands of metric tons of supplies. Only a fraction of which, of course, is the misappropriated fighters. But a lot of the other stuff is also material from the Dominion fighter base that's supposed to be protecting this solar system, including fuel pods, some crates of old-fashioned missiles, rocket launchers, and a lot of equipment that was allocated for base security for facilities that aren't in use anymore. It's enough to start a small rebellion.
Sounds like we could have some fun with this. You might just get to live, Steve. Patronizing pat on the face.
Surplus missiles and surplus missile pods, you say? That's a lot of surplus.
To shreds, you say.
All right.
That's Futurama. It doesn't count for the count.
Oh my, to shreds, you say. Okay, so the transport is, well, actually, it doesn't have a name. It's just a supply ship 27-43.
I mean, should we name it? Do we want to name it?
What are you going to name it? Well, you have to. You want to probably take possession of it before you name it.
Well, I'm just starting the conversation now, so we have a name when we've got possession.
Barry has already done the mental conversion from numeric to leet speak, as is often done in the future / Star Wars for droid nomenclature. So 2743, that's STAE, that's Stacy. Let's go get Stacy.
That'll do.
All right.
So is anyone, so there's the 3 of you. Are you going to try to request reinforcements, or are you 3 going to take this job on by yourselves?
Did we get a idea of what the resistance might be here for security complement?
The ship has a crew of 10, and there could be as many as another 10 security personnel aboard.
I mean, yeah, we might want to like bring a couple red shirts. I mean, locals with us.
Yeah, Ronnie, can you supply some extra backup for this?
Sure thing, she says.
We'll try to bring them back in one piece.
Whatever. Oh, and I'll give you a good price on anything you bring back.
Okay. Anything that we bring back that we want to sell, you'll give us a good price on. Gotcha.
She smiles at you.
Barry smiles back. The subtext being there, we're keeping some of this.
She's like,
All for
almost
sale.
got you.
Like, see, I'm learning. Barry thinks to himself and not out loud.
All right. Micah, give me a piloting roll.
Oh dear.
Unless you've assigned someone else to act as pilot.
Nope. Oh no. Oh no, I got minuses this time. That means I only got a 3.
Okay. Well, they're not very good at this, so you have a shot. And they do not. They do terribly. They think they're engaging in like an evasive course, but they're actually bringing themselves closer to you.
They fell into our trap.
They didn't coordinate the evasive courses, so it all leads to a single point where we can just blow them all up at once.
So you can communicate with this ship directly. You can try to sneak aboard. You have collected 7 volunteers.
Oh, you posed me with a difficult question, Acer, because Barry good at talk, but Barry also not too bad at sneak and kill on ship.
Barry.
Yes?
Our pirates, we're calling them Barry's privateers.
Not Barry's Buccaneers.
I grudgingly accept.
That's a joke for 3 people out there.
All right. So
It'll make sure that Jack listens to this episode because I'll tell him that there's a Barrett's Privateers joke in it.
All right.
Canadian folk music. That's
So you are able, with all of those very successful rolls previously, to transmit the codes that prevent their sensors from detecting you as a hostile ship. What are you going to do about your method of approaching?
Okay, well, I guess first we have to confirm, is this ship a sickening sight?
get out.
Well, you broached the subject of Barrett's Privateers. Now I have to work as many references as possible. Oh, wait, no. This is going to end up with my legs being lopped off. No, Control Z.
That was Wrath and Glory. We already used that ship.
No, that's how Barrett's Privateers ends as a song.
I know, but we named the ship in Wrath and Glory after the antelope. We abstracted it for the setting.
Yeah, but now we have Barry's Privateers, and I like my legs. And also, we were not told we would fire no guns, shed no tears. There were explicit gun firing instructions.
So do we want to BS them, or should we just lay in?
let's try to BS them while we have the clearance codes.
Roll notice.
Everyone?
Yep.
Hey, sir, we keep having us roll with skills I'm the best at.
5.
Ooh, I rolled a 6.
-1.
Ooh, potentially 8 if danger sense comes into play.
Danger sense does come into play. There is a problem, but it's not one you can really put your finger on. Until you get a little closer to the ship. You transmit those codes, and you don't get a response back. You don't get like a denial, an acceptance. There's just no response at all.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Can I send my time message? It's like, be ready to kill Steve.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
Okay, is it technology for sensors to
Yes.
detect if stuff is going on?
That's right.
I'm gonna roll technology to do a sensor sweep. And I am... You know what? I'm going to go hog wild on this because we need to... It's better to find out if danger is going to be punching us in the face or just it's a plague vessel that everyone's already dead on in advance. So I'm going to spend fate point for Smarmy Space Bastard with a Devil's Own Luck because that can't possibly go wrong to push that up to a 6.
All right. The ship is still traveling on course. Its communications equipment seems to be offline. And as you draw closer, you see that it has taken several hits along its spine, where most of its communications equipment and sensor equipment is concentrated.
Can we get our computer to handshake with theirs, or is it just not receiving anything?
Yeah, it's not receiving anything.
I
Oh no, their
come over
Wi-Fi
to the others. Like, I think someone beat us to it. I mean, potentially at least. It's still on course, but it's all of its comms are knocked out. So I guess we might be sneaking on.
I mean, I think for certain term definitions of sneaking, if they're all dead, it's not really sneaking. It's just sort of walking.
Yeah, but if there's people there, like
No,
short of having one of us go in front of the bridge and flash lights for the code in Morse code
no, you
or
see,
something.
if the people are still alive, then we're not sneaking. We are marching in as rescuers.
Mm-hmm.
We're saving them now, and then they're going to express their gratitude with stuff.
Yes, this is a good plan.
Or we'll just vent the Atma.
Also a good plan.
Give me a piloting roll, Micah.
Again? All right. 4.
You are able to match course and vector and easily glide your ship up to one of the transport's airlocks.
Hey, who among us has the best technology? Because I have a sinking suspicion that we should check if there's Atmo on the other side of this, or if airlocks are sufficiently advanced, if they have any sort of, biohazard or plague indicators.
I
flagged.
believe our tech is about on par.
Okay. So yeah, I have a technology of +2.
Yeah, ditto.
I have it at 0.
Okay. Collaborative effort question mark of let's find out if there's Atmo.
I mean, we should just put on, assume there's no Atmo, and just figure out when we get there.
Yeah, I mean, spacesuits is a good idea regardless. It's just a question of if we're going to have to wait for airlock cycling and all of that fun stuff and alerts and et cetera, et cetera. I got a +4 on technology.
All right. The airlock does have environmental sensors to tell you what it's like on the other side. The air is not circulating, but it is still air.
Okay, so it's pressurized, but there's life support may have been knocked out. Did it have any sort of temperature indication?
Several of the compartments are very, very cold, but some are still warm.
And probably there's some some of the sections have been open to space, so makes a note of that and plots it on our communal comm map / blueprint of the ship question mark.
Yes, you are building a map as you go.
Okay, we gonna Bard's Tale this mofo, or Etrian Odyssey for you new kids.
All right, so treat this like a ship-wide emergency, lockdown, anything that looks like it might still be venting, and assess the status of key systems? Or do we just assume the crew will loss and just get to looting?
Yes, and
Okay,
let's try to save people if we can. Close every door behind us as we go, just in case we accidentally open one into space that wasn't flagged on the environmental controls for whatever reason, like if the sensors got blowed up real good. And if we find survivors, they may be extremely grateful.
give me tactics rolls.
Oh no.
This doesn't have anything to do with maneuvering, right?
No.
All right. 2.
Also
Question.
2.
Barry rolled a 3, weirdly enough, and a 5 if danger sense comes into play. And if it doesn't, Acer doesn't need to tell me. Because where's the fun in that?
You can tell that the ship's main control center is located 2/3 of the way aft, near where the reactor and the engine pods are. Most of the ship forward of that is cargo holds. But there is a high value cargo module marked on one of the decks immediately in front of the bridge.
Okay. Drop a pin on our local Google Maps on that one.
Commander, want me to take some of Barry's privateers and check on the reactor?
Yeah, that seems wise.
Because getting power going to key systems might, make life easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, get life support up and cycling again.
So
As oh, go on.
I'll grab 3 red shirts and start going the direction I think that is.
As the two groups separate, main power goes out.
Well, shit.
I didn't do it.
I mean, you split the party. You triggered the death flag.
I mean, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Okay, Barry's going to slowly draw his sword just in case and turn on his suit's integral flashlight, assuming that there is one, whether it's helmet mounted or shoulder mounted.
You have 2 of each.
Lucette is turning on all the lights.
Mm-hmm.
And she's drawing her the very weathered-looking pistol that she wears.
I'm gonna just turn. The circuitry for my prosthetic eyes is basically radar based, right?
Yep, you are not deterred by darkness.
All right, so I'm fine.
Okay.
I don't even
guess
notice the difference.
I was about to say, I don't know. He registered to you that something happened.
So Barry will say, like, so Micah, the lights just dropped out.
Ah. Well, do you have flashlights?
Yep, we've activated them. I guess should we proceed as like plotted out?
Yes.
Okay. And Barry leads the group forward with his sword drawn.
Double timing to the reactor now, I think.
Barry, roll discipline.
Well, on the plus side, I actually have that as a skill currently, which is better than I could say for season 1. That's a +1 because I blanked out on the dice.
All right, take a stress.
Okay.
Well, you won't have to worry about half the security complement.
About getting half of our complement back?
No, about having to contend with half of the ship's security complement. Barry has found one, what looks like a Dominion Marine fire team. They were not in power armor. I'm sure they wished they had been. It looks like they were basically incinerated by something.
Oh!
It's not pleasant.
Would it be investigate or notice to try to figure out what?
Investigate.
Okay. That's a much worse skill for me, but funnier. Barry, what the fuck? I got a +2 on the dice again, so that's a +3 somehow.
All right. You can tell from the scorch patterns around the corridor that this group tried to make their stand here and were overcome by someone or something equipped with a flamethrower.
Ooh. Okay. someone may have beat us to this place, or there is a case of space madness because these guys got flamered, like flamethrowered. And sorry, I will be back in 1 second. Someone's knocking on the door.
Sure thing.
Trying to cover up the camera. There.
Lucette,
Yes.
roll notice.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
I had told myself I'm going to try, talking less numbers and mechanics, but I do have to share this amazing set of rolling. I have a +0 in notice, and I rolled a perfect 0.
Wow.
coming
No pluses,
together.
no minuses, from nothing. Lucette has not noticed anything this entire time. I think her brain is still definitely somewhere else.
All right. Roll discipline.
In a familiar story, that's a 1.
All right. You lose 2 stress.
Ow, I hate it.
You would have done better if you had noticed the very large block of C4 sitting on the reactor shield casing.
That helps.
Yeah, that's not good. So
As it happens, you do notice it. A fraction of a second after, you hear the click of you stepping on a pressure plate.
shit. So I assume there's an explosion.
No, actually, there is not an explosion yet because you have not taken your foot off the plate.
Okay. Red shirts, you might want to go back down the hallway. And close the bulkhead door. And she's going to try to disarm this trap.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's always a good thing to come back to.
All right, so that's going to be a technology roll.
Yeah, she's not great at that. But
Yeah,
there are worse skills.
As an aside, Mike the person's technology skill was invoked by the DM upstairs by helping out my parents with a weird technology thing.
So we're going to burn a fate point to roll that again. Tagging ex-mercenary. Some experience with things that go boom. That's a 2.
Could while Lucette is working on this, could I try to be encouraging her to create
Yes.
advantage?
Yes, you can.
All right. I'm like, okay, zombie, keep calm. This is all gonna turn out fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's
You got this.
definitely a PG situation. Not at all going to lose my legs.
I got a 6.
All right. So
They have
you
great prosthetics now.
All right. That did not. That last part was kind of frightening. So I rolled a 5.
I got her up to a 4. Assuming that zombie does want to tag my free invoke.
Yes. I mean, I can spend a final fate point for Hail Hydra because the Hydra is telling me to do things.
All right. So your hands shake. You are pretty sure that if this goes on too long, you're going to drown in your own sweat.
This spacesuit is already disgusting, ruined. Gonna have to burn it later.
But you find the the weak spot in this trap's design. There are a couple of wires that you almost reach out and cut, and then you realize that those are dummy wires, and the actual trigger is located a few centimeters to the right, and it's actually just one cable. You just reach out and clip it, and you render the explosive safe.
She does that thing where she clips it and immediately like closes her eyes and braces for an explosion. And after like probably 10 seconds of not being dead, she'll open her eyes and breathe an audible sigh of relief over the intercom. Okay, still alive.
You good?
1 second. She'll take her foot off the pressure plate. Yeah, I think we're good.
Good. I wasn't actually serious about the leg prosthetics. They're still not that great. Not as good as my eyes, at least.
Well, it was the thought that counts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Barry and Micah roll notice.
Can I tag my invoke
Yes.
or my my encouraging words or whatever?
Yes.
Ooh, I think Barry ain't gonna see shit.
There's 2 free invokes on that left.
Then I'll make use of one.
I got 3.
And I got a 4.
Okay.
Yes, -1 + 2 is +1. Hooray!
You both stop short as you open a hatch and realize that on the other side is nothing.
Like there's outer space.
Like if you were to look down, there's outer space. There's still a magnetic containment field. The kind that you see in hangars.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely empty space down there. And in front of you, you notice that there were a great many shipping containers in this hold. The davits that were sort of holding them in place are still there, dangling from the room's ceiling and bulkheads, but they're all empty now.
It's looking more and more like someone beat us to this place.
I'm definitely gonna let my tide deal with that asshole when we get back.
Yep.
Oh shoot. I'm gonna text my tie real quick that we're still alive.
Disappointed face emoji.
I didn't want him to have that on his conscience if the guy didn't deserve it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Barry will reply to the disappointed face of Road.
Give me investigate rolls.
Okay. This is gonna go swimmingly, I can tell. No, I
1.
also won.
Yeah.
Lucette can give me one as well.
-2.
Oh no.
And rather honky. something about this feels very off, and you can't quite tell what it is.
Well, it's that Steve is lying to us.
The give me a notice roll, Barry.
Okay. Is Danger Sense going to play in with this?
No.
Okay. Die is shifted up on top of other ones. There we go. Okay. Math. +4. A great result.
All right. So, as you investigate the other parts of the ship, you encounter the place where the other security team made its last stand. This one was dispatched a little more methodically, but no less brutally. And the professionalism of what you're seeing sort of gives you pause. The Dominion sailors were taken apart by concentrated flechette fire. So sort of, like space shotguns.
Mm-hmm.
The kind of projectile that is very pointy, but also soft, so it doesn't go through hulls.
The kind of armature that Ronnie kind of specializes in.
Yes. It's sort of alarming, though, because you see that, these guns, when you employ them in a firefight like this, you tend to leave a lot of cartridges behind. Whoever was on this ship policed their brass.
Oh, that not good. That not good at all. Barry's already starting to be kind of freaked out at the whole thing. And this is not going to be rational whatsoever, but Barry's going to start thinking back to some of the old spacer tales of the insectoid monsters that live in the void that sometimes rip apart ships with bio flamethrowers and needle-like bio flechettes. So Barry's just going to start digging into one of the corpses to try to assuage himself that these were people guns and not alien guns. Barry's going a bit loopy.
Give me a discipline roll.
Okay.
Is Barry perhaps narrating his findings as he searches?
Oh my, yes.
How unhinged does he sound?
I'm just making sure. I gotta double check something. I just want to make sure that these were standard flechette rounds and not to try to determine if they were Dominion or Draconis system or some other source of flechette rounds. He got a +3 on discipline.
All right. You are able to hold it together, even as you are sifting through some poor bastard's guts. Roll notice again.
Okay.
On the other end of the headsets, you can still hear Lucette trying to not hyperventilate after nearly being exploded. She's deep breaths, trying to focus, and she says, "So, is it possible that since there's no shells, it's like electric gun, like a rail gun or something?"
Well, well, I'll let's find out. I got a +5 on my notice, so we'll see if it's like depleted uranium needles or what kind of railgun projectile could have been used, or
Roll
if
athletics.
they just picked up all of the cartridges afterwards.
Roll athletics. I don't like that. Oh, all of us?
No, just hit.
Oh,
Just
okay.
barely.
+4. For some reason, I can either roll +2 or minus everything.
All right. So it is. You are shaken. Is your is the boost that whoever attacked you will elicit, as you are, trying to figure out what anything you can from what regarding what killed this person, or about what killed this person, and you sort of roll them over, and you hear a snap, and as the body rolls over with like a scratching sound, you see that there was a grenade under this one.
Oh! Oh! Oh, good, more booby traps! Is Barry's just gonna... Is there gravity in this area?
Yes.
Okay, Barry's just going to try to boot the corpse away from himself as fast as he can and jump the other direction.
All right. So with your with that tie, you will have succeeded in avoiding the blast. But like I said, you're shaken. But yeah, somebody booby trapped the dead.
Okay. Well, that on one side, I'm reassured that this was purely a human act, and also freaked out that someone booby trapped the dead with a grenade. So they not only picked up everything that could have had any sort of trace, but if anyone tried to be a looky-loo, wanted to blow them up real good. Whoever hit this place was capital P professional.
Sounds like it.
Do we know of anyone in the sector that would do stuff to this degree? Like is this a resistance hit, or like one of the cells, or did someone on the ship piss off some extremely well-funded space capitalists and they sent out a private hit team?
Yeah, there are far too many groups that cultivate operators that can perform a hit like this for you to narrow it down just based on the level of lethality and precision employed. Although, they did use a flamethrower, there's a certain psychological element to it as well.
So someone with the flair for, if not shock and awe, the flair for dramatic, and also flair for fire flares. Whoever did this, I don't think we want to get on the bad side of.
I
But
think it's a little late for that.
Well, no, I mean these guys got on the bad side of them. Everything that we've encountered so far is just traps that they left behind, probably to fuck with the Dominion people checking up on this afterwards. No immediate ill intent directed to us personally, I don't think.
It doesn't seem like it.
I mean, I'm gonna take that C4 pretty personal. Just for my own sake, I'm very offended, personally offended by the explosive device. Didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, I didn't quite appreciate the grenade on the body either, but so what do you guys say? I mean, if this place was hit hard like this, I'm kind of doubting that they'd leave anything of use behind unless we
It might be
loot
worth
the entire base and go through room by room and risk setting off all of the traps in this tomb of horrors.
it might be worth figuring out. Like, professionals would have come for something specific, so, and not taken everything that wasn't nailed down. So if we're curious as to who did this, it might be worth knowing what they came for.
I mean, it looks like they took anything worth taking.
Yeah, was it just Acer? Was it just the high value room that we stepped into that was emptied out into the void, or
Yeah, they took the fighters.
okay? I mean, I guess we could check the lower priority stuff just in case, so it's not a complete waste of fuel and everything.
All right. Everybody can roll notice.
Okay. This is one of the happy, fun loot notice rolls, right, Acer?
Yep.
Wow. I'm going to spend a fate point to re-roll that.
That's
I'm going to
-1.
err on the side of comedy and not re-roll that.
I got a 1.
I got a 0.
-1.
All right.
Ah, yes. We're doomed. I got a -3 on that roll.
Rob, roll athletics. And Mike, roll athletics.
Oh, good.
Ooh.
As I was saying before, I can either roll -3 or -4 or +2 on the dice, because that was another +2 added to my 2 of athletics, so a 4.
Your +2 roll is still higher than anything I've rolled tonight. Anything at all. I've not rolled higher than a 1 all night.
Oh,
I just
John
rolled
has
0.
affected all of us. Even though he's not here right now, his dice luck is...
John and I share bad dice luck. This is a thing.
It's diffused to the rest. They rolled a 5. Mike, so take 3 physical stress.
And physical stress is hit point based
Yeah.
kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have 1 left. Actually, no. I'll take 2 of that in a consequence, of which I guess Acer will give me a hint on how it should be named.
Shrapnel.
Shrapnel! ! It is.
Because after all of Barry's interesting discoveries, I think it's funny that with a 1, the most observant person is Micah.
I rely on my other senses, and I can see in the dark. Well,
Yes, and
see.
and you can see in the dark. You are particularly wary of traps, so you do spot this this small cylindrical shape.
But I'm enough of an asshole not to tell the rest of the team.
You just assume that we see it too because it's right there.
I forgot that the lights are out. It's like when Acer and I come home.
You find a shot shell.
Ooh. I will pick that up.
So it's about the size of a 12 gauge shotgun shell. It has been fired.
Is it still warm?
No.
I didn't think so. That would have been cool, though.
But you see that somebody dropped the ball. It is labeled ammunition.
Ah. Whose name is on it?
Republic Armaments Corporation.
Are they on our side?
Yes.
I'm going to just pocket that. I'm not going to tell the others.
Okay.
Barry's busily duct taping the shrapnel wound in his suit/him to try to make sure that it's relatively airtight for just in case purposes.
Actually, is it like engraved into there? Because I'm not sure otherwise I can make out the writing.
Yes.
Okay.
It's stamped.
Okay.
Lucette probably didn't notice anything because she was preoccupied looking at the reactor and seeing what its state was and what systems have power and why they might not have power.
Yeah. So, Lucette. Give me another notice roll.
It is I'm the best at this. That's a +4.
Nice.
All right.
For my +0 notice, that's pretty good.
That is very good.
That's extremely good.
So you're checking all the systems on the ship that could possibly be dangerous, and then you notice something very, very wrong. Somewhere along the way, maybe when someone set off a grenade, some mechanism was triggered aboard this ship, and you notice that the fuel pressure gauge on the refueling rig that has been set up in the cargo hold is going up.
Oh, no. We have a problem.
What now?
Yeah, I just got blown up by a grenade.
Yeah, and a bigger grenade's about to go off. The ship's fuel is primed.
All right. I think we found everything worth finding on here.
Yep. Let's get out of this death trap before we get trapped by it too.
Roll athletics.
Is this ranged?
No.
Damn. Holy shit, I rolled 4 pluses.
In this economy? Holy shit.
That's a 4.
Farewell, Barry. Some people liked you, maybe. I got a 1.
I got a 2.
Actually, no. I am going to spend my final fate point and push that up to a 3.
All right. The devil's own luck indeed.
Yep. And now the devil's going to come a-calling.
All right. You barrel out of the airlock onto your ship, and not really caring about the damage to this borrowed ship, you just do an emergency disconnect and go full throttle. And what follows is exactly what you would expect when you plug a you create a closed system and build up a lot of pressure in it, and everything inside of it is, fuel. At some point, a very tiny detonator does the rest. There is nothing left of that ship when the huge incandescent flash whites out your sensors, all of your aft-facing sensors. Or, excuse me, whites out all of your aft-facing sensors.
Mm.
So, I think there was another booby trap.
Looks like it.
Yep, I think so.
I mean, I get being thorough, but I mean, come on.
Oh, Micah, you get a fate point for pocketing the shell.
Ooh. Do I get to keep that for next time?
Yes.
Nice.
My first loyalty is still to the Republic. Sorry.
I'm not sorry.
All right. So there is something going on out here in the Beta Atria system. And it will almost certainly be us to clean up.
Oh, good.
Can I have that day off? I don't like cleaning messes that much.
It's clearly
I
one of
don't-
Callie's responsibilities on the chore list, on the chore chart.
I wouldn't say it's Callie's responsibility as much as it's like zombies or Mai Tais.
Right.
I don't know if I've mentioned this previously. Micah might actually recognize the style of pistol that Lucette carries. She probably hasn't, had it out before until this encounter. But it, in fact, Republic issue, like standard issue sidearm for a Republic officer,
Well,
or Republic soldier.
She just assumes you stole it.
sidelining you a little less.
All right. So, I assume you're reporting in to Magnet about this as well.
I am not telling Magnet about the shell.
Uh-huh.
I will next time try to make contact with one of my contacts back home. But I will report on what we found in the station.
All right.
Yeah. How we tried to reclaim a bunch of assets, but some nebulous person or some nebulous group beat us to it, and we barely got out of there by the skin of our teeth.
Oh, that's
and
fine.
you both get bear hugs.
I'm glad you made it out too, Lucette, or Zombie.
They are going to, or Magnet is going to respond with orders calling you back to rendezvous with the Armstrong. The convoy is going to continue on from Collins Station, and Ronnie will be sending a shuttle to the Armstrong with Mai Tai and your prisoners.
What is? Oh, actually, we did give Ronnie a cover as to what our deal with the Armstrong was, didn't we?
Yeah, you just said you're privateers or
Yeah.
pirates. So as you fly back to rendezvous with the rest of the force? Are you, and shortly after you get back aboard, are you going to be doing anything to take care of yourselves?
I mean, is Callie back?
Callie is in Draconis system.
Oh, yeah. Then no.
You could write her letters.
I will do that.
Oh yeah, she only came out onto the side of the jump gate for scouting kind of stuff.
Yeah. She was on the ship that made sure that the jump point was properly charted before you went through it.
Yeah, I've got some stress I could try getting rid of.
I
All
have
right.
stress and a consequence that I need to start getting rid of.
All right. So, would you care to roll discipline?
I mean, we're gonna try.
I'm going to roll discipline, and I don't have any fate points to buy off bad stuff. Luckily, I rolled not shit for this one time. So that's +2.
And what did you roll on, or how many?
I have
Stress do you have?
2 stress.
Okay.
True to myself, I've rolled a 0. I figured it's served me well so far. I didn't want to break the streak,
Do you have any fate points left?
No.
Oh, we both bottomed out the session.
Yeah, I had burned both of mine, or 2 of mine, to deal with that, plastic explosive.
All right. What is your current negative decompression?
Pick a stupid fight.
All right. So you are going to pick a fight with some Marines when you get back to the ship.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
So, with you back aboard, the Armstrong is going to turn outbound toward the Callisto system and go to full speed.
He looked at me funny. You saw it.
Right.
You say to Hydra through the bars on the brig.
Yeah.
I do like hanging out with Lucette when I want to get an adrenaline rush, so that makes sense.
Uh-huh. So, that has been Gold Wings, Black Skies. Around the table, we've had Mike.
Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and I was playing Barry Namazuko, the smarmy space bastard with the devil's own luck. That also has shrapnel in his leg right now, and you can find me on Twitter at Tokan. That's Tokkan.
Rob.
Hi, this is Rob. I played Lucette Zombie Forrester. You can find me on Twitter at Boudet. And, I mean, you saw how he looked at me. He had it coming.
Yep, he had it coming.
And Megan.
Hey everyone, this is Megan. I've been playing Commander Micah Drexler. Ship the loyalties. You can find me on Twitter at Curium247 or tweet for the podcast at TRF Podcast.
And I would argue that your loyalties are actually unquestioned.
Just maybe not to the people
These people.
who I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis.
And he's normally here, but he wasn't tonight. But you can find one of our compatriots, Mai Tai, John Perry, at Slaypy, that's SLEYPY on Twitter.
I'd say you should pour out a Mai Tai for him, but I feel like pouring out cocktails is a lot more expensive than pouring out beer, so you should just drink it.
Yeah, pour it down your throat.
Yeah.
This is Acer. You can find me on Twitter, Acer_Tolentino. Thank you very much for joining us. And we hope to see you again soon. Until then, this is Gold Wings, Black Skies. Signing off.
Trying to call us TRF again.